Straightening today, I rediscovered this gorgeous piece, which is a sort of hollow form sort of bowl made out of a piece of box elder maple burl. And this is going to be backwards to the camera. And what you can't see is that in the inscription it says, stolen from Maker Camp 2024, turned in 2025 by Tony Peps. So I was working on the Harvey lathe in the Highland tent at Maker Camp just a little over a year ago, and I had brought a bunch of wood for me and Pat to turn out there. And one of them was this gorgeous piece of box elder burl. And I think that Tony did a wonderful job of turning this after camp. But the way that he acquired this piece of wood from me was that he walked up to me and was looking through my stash and took it with him and threw it in his car. And I was like, dude, I was gonna. And he went anyway. It's gorgeous. I cannot complain, and I brought plenty of wood for everyone. Wish we could have worked on this one at the camp, but I have no regrets. I mean, look, it's got the voids.
It's absolutely beautiful.
It's not soup worthy, but really, really cool. And it also came with one more card that I keep with the bowl, and it says, Todd, hopefully this makes up for the theft. See you at camp, Tony Peps. So Tony,
the only way to steal is to give it back and return with something cooler.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about Maker Camp in this episode.
We are live, but I didn't even want to cut you off because it's such a good story.
Yeah.
But welcome everybody. This is episode 169. We're joined tonight with Kat of Rose City Vintage Workshop. Yep. Got the whole thing. We're gonna
make it long and complicated.
I know, but I just always slurry through them. So, but we're gonna get into her in a moment. TJ's gonna run through our sponsors real quick, and then we're gonna learn all about Kat.
Sure. Okay. So we start every episode off with a great big thank you to Hannah and the team over at Surf Prep Sanding Systems and Abrasives. This week I want to talk about how I had a buddy who's a local here who recently started doing some project management and some production for a door casing company. And he actually asked to borrow my Surf Prep sanders so that he could get a little hands-on feel. And it took him maybe 2 hours of driving away from my home and putting that thing into use before he was like, I'm on the website. I need the coupon code, because they're just that wonderful. If you want to get a 3x4 wiggle sander like my buddy just picked up, you're going to use coupon code Sawdust Talk and you're going to save some moolah. Don't forget to get extra 3x4 abrasives if you're buying that thing, because you're not going to burn through them quick, but you're going to want to make sure that you never run out because it's a wonderful sander. Let's also remind everybody that if you want Sawdust Talk merchandise, you're going to swing over to kcbombshell.com. You can check out Layla's cool scroll saw art while you're there. But let me tell you, I've been starting to feel the seasonal change here in the Midwest, and I keep thinking, you know what would really make my October extra special? And that's a Sawdust Talk hoodie. And frankly, if I see any of you at Maker Camp this autumn in a Sawdust Talk hoodie, I will give you the biggest high five, and should you accept it, a warm, loving embrace of a hug, because that's really cool that you would want to represent us. And think of how warm that Sawdust Talk hoodie wrapped around you in the crisp autumn air. Ooh, that's a sensation. Go to kcbombshell.com to pick that up. Let's also talk about Makers for St. Jude. We have had some pretty stellar participation in Makers for St. Jude this year. The year is definitely not over yet. I think we're probably going to have an autumn push in the not too distant future. We'll get more details about that from Mike. And participating in that autumn push is an awesome way to win sweet prizes, and then let the cool stuff that you make do cool stuff for people who could use your help. Wonderful charity. Glad that Mike has hitched his wagon to us and a couple of other podcasts. That's just awesome. And you can find more information at Makers for St. Jude, at Woodworker versus Cancer, or if you're interested in getting involved or you want to do some fundraising because you think St. Jude Children's Charities is just awesome, get a hold of me, get a hold of Jessie, get a hold of Mike, get a hold of just about anybody, and we'll get you pointed in the right direction. Get involved, get awesome. Also, did you guys know that there's a Patreon for this channel? And that for just $5 a month, which is, I now believe, less than a single Big Mac at McDonald's, you could be helping support Jessie and I to make it out to these maker meetups. It really helps us with lodging and transportation, and Jessie's new high def camera, so it doesn't look like she's filming the episode on a potato. This is all the work of Patreon. You can check us out at Patreon/Sawdust Talk, and we appreciate any and all of your support that you're willing to send our direction.
Thank you, DJ. That was wonderful.
I like how it's also a different. Try to think of a different fast food place each week.
I try. I try to think of things that are greater than $5, and it's getting less difficult, to be completely honest. It's like $5. That's a 20-ounce Coke in a vending machine at a baseball game. Like,
oh yeah, I want to start. I mean, usually we typically start by asking like, who are you, whatever, all that stuff. But I want to know first of all, like, how did you find Sawdust Talk podcast? Because you are an avid listener and follower, and we appreciate you. But like, how did you find us?
That's an excellent question. I was trying to actually, when you asked that just a second ago, I was like, "Ooh, how did I find?" You know, I think it was actually through Ricky TV, because I think I started following him right around the time he did his episode.
Oh,
gotcha.
Okay.
So it was just like last year. So I think it was actually through Ricky TV.
Which is perfect, because the vintage side of you and his vintage side, I can see
I'm
how
obsessed with those floors, and that whole shop he just did is incredible.
Oh yeah, for sure. So then tell everybody who you are.
So I'm Kat, for those who don't know me, and then probably most people don't actually know my face because I don't get in front of the camera very often. It's very rare, although I've been told I should do it more. But I started, I guess, I sort of started like the blogging around the time kind of everybody did, but I was consistently inconsistent. I wasn't one of those that like made it into a business or turned it into anything. Had aspirations, but I was just, consistently inconsistent. But I did the blog. I think one thing that really jump started, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately, is I was in between jobs around that point, and I was watching a show on HGTV, and I don't know if many people have heard of it, but it was called The Junk Gypsies. And it's two sisters, and the whole family basically sell junk and repurpose junk. When they go antiquing, they call it junkersizing, which I've adapted. I've adopted that term, junkersizing. And just taking old vintage stuff and recycling and repurposing into different things. So I kind of started going on my own junking ventures. I also kind of got into like the Anna White, Shanty Two Chic sisters building around the same time. And it just kind of escalated from there. I think I've just always done it as a hobby. I think I would like to eventually turn it into a business, but the business part scares me a little bit. I'm not really a businessy math kind of person.
That's okay.
So
that's why we have.
But I need to take the leap. Everybody. I mean, people have done it clearly, so that we all know. So I just need to take the leap.
Well, you got to make friends with a CPA, right? And
yeah, that's true. You got to make friends in the right places.
Yeah, you got to make friends with a CPA. And preferably one that's got some good practice helping people set up businesses with the state. And then there's some nice benefits of being a business out there if you're willing to do the legwork and keep the records. But yeah, no, going turning it into a business from turning into a hobby is tricky. There's a lot of balance there for sure. Um, I, as you know, having seen many episodes, have done plenty of creeping on your profile, and I want to talk about scroll saw puppies
Yes.
because you've got a bunch of really adorable scroll saw puppies that have popped up in the last couple of months. Um, Tell me a little bit about those.
So I had done like one or two before of just like for friends whose pups had passed away, but then my local humane society here had done what they called a portrait roulette fundraiser. So they asked people to volunteer to draw. It could be any age, any skill set or whatever. Anybody who just wanted to volunteer, let them know, and then anybody could submit their pet. Didn't necessarily have to come from the animal shelter, the humane society, but anybody wanted to submit their pet to have a portrait done. That was their little fundraiser they had. So I participated in that and did 3 of those. So a friend of mine let me know about it, and I had fun doing those. So I have 2 more I was actually going to do. My mom's dog is up next. And then I had a dog several years ago. I lost her right before COVID. She had a brain tumor. So I had to end up having to put her down. But I wanted to kind of now that I'm kind of into that, I wanted to kind of do one. That was mine. When she passed, my sister gifted me a little watercolor that she had gotten from somebody. But now that I'm kind of into these, I kind of want to do one for myself to have her as, up on my wall.
Yeah.
So those have been fun. Like I feel like I've looked at the scroll saw and I was like, I need to get back to the vintage side, but I've been having so much fun on the scroll saw side too. Kind of gotten the bug.
It looks like you're doing a little bit of carving or power carving on there, or is that all just paint work that you've done on those pieces?
Oh no, some of them were carving.
Yeah, that's so cool.
One of them I haven't posted, and I was waiting until it got delivered because it was a gift. It was a gift for somebody whose pup had just passed.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to post it because it was a gift. So I'm waiting for that. But that one I definitely carved. The dog was wearing like a little fiesta hat, and so I carved like the different layers. But yeah, I definitely try to carve and shape a little bit.
Did you adorable. Get into that a little bit more, perhaps in a tent at Maker Camp? Did you get to try something like that out there?
I did, although I don't think I did anything with the scroll saw at Maker Camp, but I think just between Workbench and Maker Camp and then all the people following, just kind of got back into it. So I've had a scroll saw for a little bit, just haven't really done much with it. So, but finally decided to just give it a whirl.
Yeah, it's a hoot and a half. So I know that you were our lucky recipient of a Maker Camp ticket last year. So you got to be sponsored on your way out there.
I did, and it was epic. I'm just going to go ahead and say it was epic.
Okay, that's good. Do you have, aside from sitting next to me at a picnic table and watching our friends belt out karaoke at the top of their lungs, do you have any other wonderful memories from Maker Camp?
I do actually. I think you were at the table too. The first night, Thursday night. Well, actually, I want to give out a shout. Uh-oh. Did I lose connection? Nope. Am I still on?
You're back. We got you.
Back.
You're
back. I'm back. Okay.
Tell us about Thursday night.
So Thursday when I got there, we'll start with Thursday because I just felt like it was epic. I got there being brand newbie to Maker Camp. I was lost. I definitely had that lost puppy face. just wandering. I checked in at the front desk and I was wandering. And I have to give a huge shout out to Joe from JLV Innovations. He stopped me and said, "Are you new? Are you lost? You need help? You need what? Where are you headed?" And I was like, "I'm not sure. I'm like brand new." Fast forward, he was like, "Well, I'm about to go grab something to eat. Do you want to, or go run some errands? You want to come with?" And I was like, "Sure," because in the spirit of Maker Camp, brand new, meeting people. He taught me how the milk run, taught me all about the milk run, and then ended up epically at Jimmy DiResta's new barn, getting a tour of Jimmy DiResta's new barn. So
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That
And then I have
like
to also
surreal.
give a shout out to Mark and Donna from Rockin' Creations. They're just awesome people. They let me stay with them too, so I got to stay with them. So that was awesome. It was all the way around.
That's awesome. It does get very surreal when you get there, and you get to meet these people that you maybe have followed for years, or people that you think would never even talk to you. Like, I'm just little old me. And then you get to an event like Maker Camp and everyone's like, "Come on over. Come sit with us."
Yeah.
Like,
you hungry? You want to go for a car ride to a convenience store? Knock yourself out.
I know. And then Thursday night, I was walking around and kind of, again, just kind of, I like to people watch and just kind of, where should I sit or where should I? People were, Brittany and Nick that I already knew from Maker Collab, were doing playing Cards Against Humanities. And I was, walked over and I was like, looked like there was an open spot. I was like, "Is anybody sitting there?" And I think Jeff from Maker Show was like, "You are." So then I ended up sitting and playing Cards Against Humanity. That was a fun night.
Yeah. And then I remember wandering off because somebody said Aurora Borealis. And so I went for a walk over by the parking lot and I got distracted. And that was where I met Leah, looking at the Aurora, because I'm not from north enough in the US to be not excited about something as spectacular as that. So that gobbled up a good portion of my time. And then I think everybody started going to bed by the time I got back. I was like, nerds. But
not a bad connection to make, though.
No,
it was awesome.
We had a blast. And I'm, again, the excitement is really starting to hit home for me this week, mostly because, Jessie, we've got another trip next week. Yeah. And then a month from then is Maker Camp. And I can hardly contain myself. One, because I need to give my buddy Pat Lapierre the biggest hug ever. He had a long year this year. But it's going to be, another chance to see the Northeasterners, the Bumbleshoots crew, the Highland Woodworking crew. I'm pretty sure they're all going to be up there in the tent again. It's going to be cool. This is really exciting. And the first year that you do Maker Camp, you're drinking out of the fire hose, right? I truly thought that it was 1/10 of the size that it is. And so I came prepared for a bunch of woodworking dorks hanging out and giving each other little seminars. I was wrong. And so we're going to have a good time.
I didn't know what to expect. I knew I had been to Workbench a couple times, and everybody was like, "You got to go to Maker Camp because it's a whole different experience." Mm-hmm. And I like the Workbench, but it is a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different beast. It's a lot more hanging out, just getting to know people, and Workbench is more, I think, knowledge driven, where you're going from class to class, and just human nature, I'm very guilty of it too. Just hanging with the people you kind of already gravitate towards or already know. So I feel like it's harder to get to know people at Workbench. And I'm guilty of that myself because I stick to what I know. So, but I think maker camp, I think that's what blew me away. Is everybody's just, like, hey, come on over, come make this with me, come do this. And I know I spent hanging a lot of time just hanging out with some cool people in the Highland tent, the Total Boat tent. I just had a blast doing the different activities. I tried to do as many different activities as I could.
And they're endless, and they keep adding stuff. I mean, it's anywhere from like dyeing scarves to making your own like cowboy hat to metal smithing, blacksmithing, carving. Like, it's just everything. So there's literally something for everybody at Maker Camp. And not just that, you get to get your hands on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Smelt Team 6, also the craziest group of smelting weirdos. I just love those dudes so much. Like, they do it nonstop for 4 days until like I think it's like Saturday night. They usually finally do their big pour and smelt it. It's nuts. Clay chimney, outdoor smelting. Because why not?
Because you can.
Because you can. Because you're in the middle of nowhere in upper state New York.
Yeah. And then there's all the metalworking stuff too. Like the Miller tent this year was up by the Highland tent. But then
it was Lincoln.
We have some show friends who are
Lincoln.
What was that? Lincoln. Sorry. It's a Lincoln tent, not a Miller tent. How very dare I?
I was like, where was that tent? I was trying to figure it out. Where was the Miller tent?
No, it was a Lincoln tent. And then there's a separate brazing and metal art tent at the other corner of the field as well. Who else? Show Friends Onefinity had quite a little setup at the Maker Camp last year. I'll be excited if they have a little something put together this year as well. Fingers crossed for it being a big something.
A pickle? Is it gonna be a pickle?
Yeah. I hope it's a big pickle, or at least I hope they're still wearing those pickle shirts.
It's going to be something new and dumb and ridiculous, but it'll be funny.
I feel like not long after that, I feel like every video Stone and Morgan did was like pickle.
Let's see here. Who else was it? The Yurt guys are not coming back this year. We learned that in our Maker Camp episode, which is kind of sad because they were pretty cool. So it'll be interesting to sort of see what's in that middle infield space. But God, I'm so stoked. I'm even stoked to just go to Milk Run and eat a sandwich. Like it's part of the whole thing.
Milk Rub.
Milk Rub.
Who made that? Was that Jeff or was that Zach's shirt? Milk Run.
I think Zach made them and then got some for us. But yeah, it was funny because the year previous, Jeff Hankey, who you know, was going around and he kept saying the Milk Rub. And it kind of turned into a joke because people were like, what are you saying? That's not what it is. And he's like, oh no, I said the Milk Run. And he was just messing with people like the whole weekend. So it just turned into the show.
Like Jeff does.
It's exactly how he is. That's just who Jeff is. And he was just goofing around with people and making a joke. But it just stuck. And now we just call it the Milk Rub. I think I actually said that on an episode.
Yeah,
I call it the Milk Rub on an episode. And somebody called me out and they were like, you know, that's not actually what it's called. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. It's just like in my head that way.
It's forever stuck.
Yep.
Yeah. No, we got to introduce ourselves to Laura Kampf at the Milk Rub last year, which was kind of cool, and then kind of gave high fives and rubbed elbows during camp. That was really exciting for me because she gets a lot of TV airtime these days. If you guys noticed that, this old house has a maker sub channel. There's like This Old House Makers. And what's really funny is that like Laura's on there, Curtis is on there, Jimmy does a bunch of his old YouTube stuff is getting re-put up there, and some new projects. And it's funny because like, I don't know, Like I've had a beer with most of those people. Compliments of Maker
That is
Camp.
pretty cool.
It's real fun.
I know I'm sad. I'm probably won't be able to swing it, but maybe fingers crossed we can come up with another miracle.
We already did our giveaway
That's the
this
best
year. I
kind of
wonder
way
if
to
anybody
get
else
there.
still has a giveaway to do. Maybe.
Oh, there's still time.
There's still time.
There's still time.
There's still time.
There's still time. Just got to scour the internet box. So tell me, when you were at Maker Camp, what are some of the things that you had a chance to maybe try for the first time?
Let's see. Welding was one, and I epically failed, but I want to try again. I want to keep going until I try again. I got to try the lathe. I was also unsuccessful at that. But here's what I thought about this the other day, TJ. I was like, I shouldn't have gone to in the back where it was like not really like taught. I should have come to you. That's where I should have gone. I should have gone and.
Well, I mean, all the cool kids were hanging out up at the Harvey lathe with me. But to be fair, the setup that guy has, his pole lathe that uses the foot pedal and stuff like that to like make pens and stuff. It's pretty cool that it's just like set up and ready for you. I'll bring some pen turning stuff also, but I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But if you want to make a pen, you make it up there. I'll bring the pen turning stuff just in case.
Now he's bribing.
I'm one of those. I'm one of those that really needs like a demonstration, and then I drive. And so,
right on.
For me, like I think last year when the pen, especially with the lathe itself, like I kind of came in. It said it started like whatever time, and I showed up like 10 minutes early, and apparently they had already done the talk before it was even supposed to start. So I didn't even get the instruction. And then by that time, spot opened up, but then they were just walking around. So I didn't really get the full instruction. Yeah, that's why it was an epic fail.
Well, that's Maker Camp standard time.
Yeah,
for you
but I know
also.
that they got to, get everybody in there that wants to, and I totally understand that. And then I also, I got enough to know that I will like it. So I feel like that was
good.
I feel like that was
and
a
you
win
will
in
like
itself because I got enough taste of it that I was like, ooh, I probably want to lathe on down the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do want to lathe on down the line. I assure you, it is the most fun that you can have in a workshop with your pants on. It is also easily one of the messiest kinds of woodworking. Like sanding is child's play compared to just the complete ruckus and chaos of working on a lathe. But it's the one that fills my bucket the fastest.
Literally
and then this is true. It's a very large cardboard bucket full of wood shaving. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a clip of me cleaning my shop with a scoop shovel, like for a horse stable, and I just. But yeah, it's gonna be cool if you can.
There's still time.
Year.
I'm gonna hope for a miracle, or start posting a video maybe with the Sarah McLachlan music. And they're just playing. Here we go.
There is nothing wrong with that. And if it exists, I will forward it to Austin personally. And I'll be like, look. Yeah, it's so fun. Oh, Mark's here. Yes. So this is, sorry, I get so distracted sometimes. I got to thinking about you making a video with Sarah McLachlan.
I just had to throw that in there.
Then I was like, you know what? If you're gonna somehow make it to Maker Camp, you probably need to brush up on "Kiss from a Rose" on the Gray because that's my karaoke song. So I just want to make sure that if you're up there singing with
notes,
me,
so that way I know the lyrics.
Singing off
Making
the
notes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, karaoke. I mean, I only watched last year, but it was a blast just watching everybody.
Oh my God. Well, it's Kiss from a Rose, and then the Thong Song are really my two karaoke masterpieces. I feel like Cisco was more than just a silver-haired voice of a generation. He also was doing movie soundtracks. I mean, it was quite a time to be alive. That's for sure.
But I'll start, just in case, for a miracle, I'll start learning those lyrics.
I think the Sarah McLachlan video is fucking incredible. That's amazing.
Is that allowed? I should just make a video. Help Kat get to maker camp, playing the sad McLachlan music with like maybe like a puppy face.
Arms of an angel.
I mean, you can make puppies, so just do the puppy dog eyes, you know?
I know that's true. Just
Oh my God,
bring all my
did you
troll
name
cell
Society
puppies.
puppies?
Have them displayed as we
Oh
go
my
through the
goodness.
video, like seeing each. This is escalating very quickly.
Okay, well, now you're going to have video proof, so you don't even have to take notes. I love it.
What is your tool of choice? Is it carving or scroll saw? Like, because you do the thrifting stuff, but what do you do with that stuff? I mean, tell us more about what you do.
I know it's been a while since I've done. Well, I guess actually this latest project, it's kind of hard to tell, but let's see if I can. These shelves are old. Well, we won't call them maybe vintage, or maybe I don't know if they came from my parents' house or I thrifted them, but they're old. Those louver closet shutter doors.
Oh yeah.
And I turned those into a shelf
These
system.
kinds.
So I like to kind of repurpose stuff. I have you can't see it, but I have an old rake head. I'm using it for a wine glass holder.
Oh.
Like screwed into the wall and then hanging my wine glasses from it. So I really do like to take things, and then I was trying to look around the room to see if I had anything else. Yeah.
I mean, you got Bruce Springsteen's
I
butt
do.
behind you also.
Yeah.
That was one of my recent scroll projects.
Like a boss.
That's awesome.
So, fun fact, he actually is. I'm very honored for him to let me share a birthday with him. My birthday day is the same day as his.
That's cool.
That's awesome. Is that why? Should we start referring to you as the boss?
Maybe. I might need some work first. Yeah, I think I'm one of those that likes to dabble in like everything. I know from I think I first started kind of following Brittany Carbone, and then getting into like the epoxy stuff and doing the total boat at workbench and all of that jazz. I kind of hit the epoxy bug too, so I like to put that in some of my pieces too. So I just feel like I find something, I like to dabble in it. Like, I'm sure if I got the lathe, then I would be, turning stuff, and it would just be adding. I'm just going to keep adding to each.
Yeah, and then you start craving the lathe fortnightly like me, and start spending too much time away. Skin starts itching, and you're like, storm blew down a tree in the next town over. I saw it on Facebook Marketplace. That's free wood. You can turn green wood on the lathe.
I know it's like that. It's like that meme with the guy like scratching. He's like, "You got any more wood?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It is nice to have like a plethora of different mediums that you work with, because especially what you're saying, like doing the thrifting stuff and repurposing stuff. I mean, you never know what that piece is going to need. So you might have a vision of it, but you're like, oh yeah, Brittany taught me this in that epoxy class, and that would be perfect for this piece. Or, you learned a different skill from another maker. But that's what the community is kind of cool for, is you're like, how do I make this work? I don't know, but I'll figure it out.
I mean, I guess that you're right. It is. I mean, I think that is the positive side to having like a plethora of like hobbies, is you're like, it kind of helps you fill in the gaps of where you didn't have that knowledge before. So you pick up a new tool or new set, and then it helps fill in. Like, I think there's some vintage like brass butterflies I found junker sizing. And one of them was missing the hook on the back. And so I just actually used, not to like put their name out there, but I love them anyways, but Total Boats UV resin epoxy, because I don't weld or anything. I don't have any of the welding equipment. I just use that to kind of bond a hook onto the one of the D hooks onto the brass back, and so now it's got a hole. So
There you go.
so that's an example of filling in. New hobby, filled in how to fix it.
You were literally filling in the gap.
And did you just cure it in the
I did.
sunlight
I just put it out on my
outside,
front
or
porch
did you
and
have
let
like
it cure.
little
But I do have the
flashlight?
flashlight too.
Okay.
But since it was still daytime at the time, I just put it out on my front porch and let it cure.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I like it.
So now it's not going anywhere.
Is there anything else that we haven't talked about that you would like to talk about at this point in the show? Is there any like burning desires or something we need to know about Kat?
Let me see. That's an excellent question. Who am I? How am I? What am I?
Who are you? What are you? Why are you? People are like, I don't know.
No. How much time do you have?
What's your day job? You're saying you haven't gone full time with your art. So what is your day job that you?
I have it. I work at a local hospital here. I work in. I just recently transitioned positions, but I was doing reporting. So I was writing SQL reports and updating them. Even though I can do it, I decided it was not my forte. So I transitioned into more of an application support role. So
Okay.
I gotcha. Is your hospital transitioning to, what is it? Epic is the one that's sweeping through the Midwest for note taking?
No, because of some different. I'm not in the leadership, so I don't know why they made the decisions they did, but they're stuck with Oracle, so we're on Oracle.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's been we just did the upgrade to their new system for like the clinical side like 2 years ago. It's been a whirlwind.
Oh. Yeah. Again, note taking in hospitals is like huge. And then the record keeping of all of that is a massive undertaking. Also, I had some friends who were in the industry. I just think it's captivating the number of cogs in that machine, right? Like you go through the door and you get treatment. We're all familiar with the main cogs that we see, but there's like so many important things that aren't a part of your direct treatment and interface with a lot of hospitals.
So many moving pieces that you don't even realize are moving pieces that have to work together. That has definitely been something. But I think on down the line, hopefully nobody from work is listening. So if they are, just close, earmuffs. I think eventually I would like to go full time eventually do something like creative, like where I'm not sitting behind a desk. I like my job okay, and I really do have a very supportive supervisor, which I haven't had in the past. She's great. But I think just my heart calls for doing something like creative and not sitting 8 hours, a day.
Yeah.
Want to be up and moving around and doing stuff. So that I think that is the end goal. We'll see. We'll see if I can get there.
For sure.
So.
Sorry, I was making faces. I think the garage door closed on the floor above me. And I was like, felt like I was in a trash compactor for a second. Okay, so before we get to our final lap through the sponsors and final question, let's say money becomes no object. Let's say you are the recipient of it was $1.1 billion Powerball. I don't know if you're,
isn't it?
Florida's
I have it. I keep meaning to play, but I mean, I guess
okay.
I hope to win, but you got to play to win. So I didn't play. So.
Right. As a former financial advisor, let me tell you that the risk versus reward on at least one Powerball ticket at this dollar amount is pretty worthwhile use of a couple of dollars. Former, mind you. So let's say that you experience the windfall of a lifetime and you get to dedicate yourself to craft or expand your craft into new directions because of luxurious tool purchases and your new infinitely sized warehouse funhouse of awesomeness. What would be the project that you work on? How about this? What project would you work on first?
I think that's actually where I would take the money and go thrifting, junker sizing, and find some epic idea to flip and do a project.
That's awesome. And the cool thing is with that lotto kind of money, you can travel the world
I was
looking
gonna
for
say
junk
then
also,
I could,
right?
take it to, I think Italy has really good like street flea markets. France has really good antique flea markets. If money were no object, then I
See?
could go over there, do it, send it back with no issues of money, get some really cool old
Just,
European antiques.
quick jaunt to North Africa and the coast there, and God, it's cool. Oh, that sounds really freaking fun. You should start a letter writing campaign. We'll find a way to get you in touch with people.
Actually, that would be cool to kind
write
of
checks for people.
antique around the world, and then find projects out of those and repurpose them in some way.
Or find some rich people that want to send you there and be like, I need this specific vintage thing. Go get it.
It's only found in this city, this foreign city.
And you're like, okay, sure, bet.
Yeah, of course I'll go to southern Thailand and find that for you, sir or madam. Yeah.
But it's gonna cost you.
If I did play the lottery though and won, my first step would be to go to Maker Camp.
There you go.
Bring it back.
Worthwhile
Maker Camp,
endeavor.
hands down. If money were no object.
Oh,
because I truly had a fantastic time, and I could not thank you guys enough for that ticket.
Oh. Yeah. Well, if we see you there this year, I'll buy you a pizza, assuming that the ladies who make the pizza with the flowers on. Yeah.
You gotta eat the flour.
I ate pizza with flour.
I was like, I can't eat this. She's like, no, yes, you can. You can eat the flour. I'm like, I've never.
That one was delicious. I had that one. That was actually really good.
Oh, it was so good. Now I want pizza. I'm hungry. Dang it.
Yep. All right. So let's do one more lap through our sponsors. Okay. The first of which again is Surf Prep, Sanding Systems and Abrasives. Hannah takes amazing care of us. She supports our show. She's active in the Makers for St. Jude fundraising. She shows up to Maker events, and she's just amazing. And she's just one part of an incredible team out at Surf Prep. If you're shopping at surfprep.com, use coupon code Sawdust Talk and save a little bit of money. Thank you, Hannah. Thank you, Surf Prep crew. You can get merch at kcbombshell.com. Imagine how much better you would sleep in the extra cozy embrace of a Sawdust Talk 4XL sleep shirt. You can make that happen at kcbombshell.com. Patreon. We have a Patreon for those of you who are paying attention and are still here. It's only $5 a month. The perks are limited, but if you want to keep Sawdust Talk on and going, this isn't like, we're going to stop, but every little bit makes a difference, and we're grateful for everyone's support for sure. And lastly, get a hold of Mike over at Woodburger versus Cancer or Makers for St. Jude. Get involved, be awesome, get involved in a drawing, take your cool stuff, raffle it off to the people who desperately want to buy it from you anyway. And the proceeds from that raffle help children who are fighting cancer. So, put rocks in their gloves. Makers for St. Jude. Okay, so that brings us to the final question. Okay. And every week we ask our guest of honor if they have any like motivational thoughts or like a quote or an inspirational idea or something that gets you stoked to get into the workshop and make a mess or get creative or be awesome. What would you like to share with our viewers and listeners this week?
And I was trying to think about this earlier. I think for me, and this might be easier said for me because I'm still doing it kind of as a hobby. So it might be easier than somebody who is trying to like do it as a business. But I think just taking the pressure off of yourself to try to do like keep doing something or do something at a timeline. I know I've put pressure on myself to try to get like a business going or get this project off the ground or get something off the ground. I think I put too much pressure on myself where it just needs to be fun. I think just make it fun. Find something that sparks an interest, and then like I know the shelf back here, I'm still in the process of building. Like I'm it probably goes to my ADHD too, because I'm like hyper focused. So I'm like, find something that I really like, and then I'm like, ooh, I'm just gonna keep working on it. Sleep, whatever. Sleep, it doesn't matter. But I think just having fun, and I think Leah said it a couple weeks ago, just kind of get in the shop and have fun. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it so much, and I love that you're on the show. Like you said earlier, this feels very, very full circle because you won the Maker Camp ticket last year, and we're gearing up to go back again this year, and we want you to come with us, and hopefully you can. But it's nice to get you
keep my fingers crossed. There's still time, like you said, to work a miracle. So still time. Sarah McLaughlin was my winning idea for tonight.
But, it is, kind of TJ and I's goal to have people on the show like Leah. She's got a big following, but we also like to have people
just a little bit,
where we can introduce you to the community. And for those that didn't get to meet you at Maker Camp or at Workbench Con, let them know who you are and what you're about and what you like to do. So we appreciate
I greatly appreciate it because this was fun. Greatly appreciate both of you, and I loved getting to meet y'all in person at Maker Camp.
Heck yeah. Totally.
Yeah. No, we figured out how cool you were in person. Of course we're going to get you on here.
Anyways, well, this has been episode 169 of Sawdust Talk with Kat. And TJ, you want to take us out?
We're going to see y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.